I had been eating leftovers from neighbors since 82 or 83. I have told you, I have been selling pigeons in Shenyang. I was on Skid Road, following a Shenyang tourism company's boss, then a Shenyang mob and wonks. When I was 12 or 13 years old, I didn't have fear and didn't know about fatigue or shyness. The most important thing I have to say is that I am grateful to my father and my mother, one for not controlling me and one for giving me freedom. My life was such that nobody could stop me then. I sold pigeons in Shenyang, opened a bakery in Xin County, and by the time I got to Liao Town, got married in 1985. Back then, I was the one who bought my wife's jeans, light jackets, and glasses. I also rode a Suzuki motorcycle. Besides the red Suzuki motorcycle, I had a blue one and a Lucky brand motorcycle. I also had employees back then. I've been all over China everywhere. If I mention my name in Shenzhen, for example, they would keep a tab for me. At that time, if someone said that Miles Guo asked to take this, the vendors would allow it. Miles Guo, is best qualified to talk about what credibility means. When I said to pay back in a week or a month, even though it may be delayed for all sorts of reasons, no one ever complained. Reflect on the events that transpired during my marriage in 1985 and the challenges I faced in 1989. Just look at the verdict that the CCP falsified. They said I worked in the oil industry. When was I in the oil business? I was in the oil business before 1984, before I met my wife. I traded natural gas. It was natural gas. When I was in the natural gas business, I was making a good profit every time. When I closed a deal, I spent almost 80 or 90% of the money, with the remaining 5% to 10% going to my family and some for myself. We spent almost 80 or 90% of the money. In those old days, I shared roast chickens and beers with all my friends. At that time, I always drank high-end liquors, like Wuliang Yi and Mao Tai. There was daiquiri, mung bean daiquiri. That's what I drank back then. By 1986 or 1987, looking back to 1983, I had been involved in the sales of motorcycles, cars, oil, and natural gas. In 1986 or 1987, I was interested in real estate. I told myself that building houses made good profits. At that time, there was no such thing as real estate. It was not until 1991, after Deng Xiaoping went on his southern tour, that there was the Shenzhen Properties Group.